The night of December 9th, 1967, Oakland, California. It was a night that changed everything and yet nothing. A night that haunted everyone who witnessed it. Even Bruce Lee never spoke of it. Never. This is the story they told me I should. Never tell. Bruce Lee was 27. To the world, he was almost invisible. No films, no TV appearances, no magazine covers. He ran a small martial arts school in Oakland's Chinatown, teaching Wing Chun, filtered through his own revolutionary approach, a system few Americans had ever heard of. In certain underground circles, his name was whispered with awe. They said he moved like water. They said his strikes were faster than the eye could see. They said he had created something beyond traditional martial arts. Jeet, the way of the intercepting fist. No rigid forms, only what worked, only what was real. But these were stories, demonstrations for small crowds, whispered tales among fighters. No one had ever seen Bruce Lee in a fight where survival, not reputation, was at stake, until December 9th, 1967. I first heard of this fight in 1996 while interviewing Dan Inosanto, one of Bruce's closest friends and students. After hours of formal conversation, he whispered a truth that froze my blood. There was a fight, a real one. The only one he ever had. Only 7 people saw it. Bruce made them swear never to speak of it. The man he fought was no amateur. He was a professional, 34 years old, 6'2", 220 pounds of muscle, trained in brutal Soviet fighting systems, Sambo, military combat, street fighting honed through decades of survival. The witnesses called him the Russian. His record was nearly flawless. 47 wins, 2 losses. The Russian had heard the legends of Bruce Lee, but he didn't believe them. Bruce, he thought, was a performer, someone who looked fast in demonstrations but had never faced real combat. He wanted to test him. Messages were exchanged. Bruce set his conditions. A neutral, private location. 7 witnesses. 3 chosen by Bruce, 3 by the Russian, 1 neutral. No weapons, no biting, no eye gouging. Fight until one could not continue or verbally submitted. If serious injury occurred, everyone would claim it was a training accident. The Russian agreed. The chosen location, an abandoned industrial building in West Oakland. Concrete floors, high ceilings, moonlight spilling through a skylight. The witnesses arrived separately, tense and silent. Bruce and the Russian faced each other, barefoot, no bow, no handshake. Just cold assessment. Then Robert, the neutral observer, stepped back. Begin when ready. For 30 seconds, neither moved. Then the Russian advanced, methodical, professional, every step calculated. Bruce remained still. Then, suddenly, he moved. 3 impossibly fast steps. A touch of his fingertips to the Russian's forehead, then back to his original spot. Room was silent. The message was clear. I can touch you whenever I want. I can strike whenever I want. You are already defeated, though you do not know it. The Russian struck. Straight punch, hook, kicks. Bruce's body was never where it should have been. He wasn't blocking, he simply wasn't there. Then, a low kick to the Russian's lead. Leg. 3 rapid strikes, solar plexus, ribs, jaw. The Russian staggered, but he did not yield. Desperate, he switched to grabs, attempting to use his size and grappling skills. Bruce moved into the attack, countered, hyperextended the Russian's elbow. The pain was real, but Bruce controlled it. The Russian's frustration grew. He attacked again, kicks and punches in a violent flurry. Bruce intercepted, redirected, controlled. Every strike he allowed, every block, every counter, measured. Then, finally, Bruce spoke. Stop. The Russian shook his head. Not finished. Bruce's expression changed. Sadness, resignation, a hint of darkness. He understood the choice he had to make. He could destroy this man, or he could control himself. Over the next 90 seconds, Bruce intercepted every strike, absorbed every attack, then delivered decisive blows to the ribs, jaw, and legs. The Russian collapsed. Again. And again. Finally, he nodded, a tiny, exhausted submission. The fight was over. Bruce leaned against the concrete wall, shaking, not from exertion, but from the weight of what he had seen in himself. His hands trembled. He had glimpsed a darkness inside, a capacity for destruction he never wanted to know. The Russian, bloodied and battered, bowed deeply. "Thank you," he said, "for showing me. There is a level beyond my own." Then they left. They never saw each other again. The Russian disappeared, never fighting professionally again. Bruce Lee never forgot that night. It changed him. Not his skill. It changed his understanding of power, control, and humanity. The strongest person in the room, that night, was not the one who could destroy, but the one who chose not to. The building was demolished in January 1968. Nothing marks it now. But on December 9th, 1967, 7 people witnessed something extraordinary. Bruce Lee, 27 years old, facing real violence and choosing mercy. That is the true measure of mastery.